is weird. It's weird talking about like spirituality and stuff. Knowing that like the ones that treated me like a puppet, like a dog, and like trained my spirit to be like that, are still here, even though I am separated from their time frame, I guess. The angels, if you will, the ones that watch and try to piece together storylines between people and interpersonal connections and stuff. Because I am desynchronized from that. It's interesting to kind of witness that even though I'm desynchronized and that has thrown off a lot of things, people are still like beholden to their will here, despite the fact that my desynchronization caused whatever was planned to be disrupted for the greater good. It's just weird that they are there, and it's like people don't recognize that. It's a little painful, like knowing that I'm capable of existing outside of that framework, knowing that I'm capable of existing, not bound by the control, the mind freak, the control master, whatever you want to call them, that used to have control because I am desynchronized from their way of doing things. And of course, what a little control they have now is used to push me out more, try to keep me from reintegrating with other people who are still, or primarily, or whatever, under their spell, right? And in my head, all the people and all the things and every angel, whatever the way angels communicate, is using the faces and bodies of people who they preside over, because they aren't necessarily physical entities themselves, they're not like bodily entities the same way that like God's not a bodily entity as like a human being, physical body, but they have the capability of presenting themselves in that way. Angels do the same. And knowing that I'm not bound by that, but having attached to me the thing that is supposed to, keep me quiet or keep me from saying or speaking outside of like the framework that I've been supposedly bound to, is strange. And knowing that, on top of that, the person that like I want to be this, like I can't be that because I am now a person who exists in two realms at once. I don't just exist in the physical world, I also exist in the other place where kingdoms of God reside, and where angels and beasts and things and all the sorts of the collective unconscious imagination reside. I live in those two places at one time, and those places interact with each other through people like me. People like me are mediators. People like me are people in between. We're the in between people. We're like I don't know. We clean up a bit. We tidy up, or we change things or make things work in ways that we don't understand, other people don't understand. Evidently, even God don't really get it. It just is, and that's the thing. It's like we know it is, but we don't necessarily get it. But in trusting that you do what you do, and what you do is doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is exactly what you do, and not not what somebody else says you're supposed to do, and trusting that you were gifted with, imbued with the knowledge and intuition and gift to follow through in doing what you were set out to do from your purpose and given to you at conception of your life here. There was a girl. She was disabled. Physically. But spiritually, mentally, she was a genius. You know how, like, Daredevil, the Marvel comic guy, when he loses his sight, he can use echolocation? Imagine that for, like, a person. But a whole person's, like, inability to, like, move, communicate. They can't speak, they can't move, but their mind power, their spirit power grows exponentially in order to accommodate that. But in communication, it's difficult to communicate when you don't have the proper interpreters to communicate, or you have interpreters who either willfully, unconsciously, or ignorantly misinterpret what is being said. And there's only two reasons to do that: either you're ignorant of what you're trying to convey, or you are willfully deceitful for purposes that are malicious in intent. Malicious intent. The intention to misguide and miscommunicate truth of like literal, spiritual, or physical, metaphysical, scientific, whatever truth, to willfully, with great intention, refrain from telling the truth in that regard. That is wrong. That is what I know I am here to rectify, and is being done, will be done from my time on this earth till its end here. I'm talking about churches. I'm talking about religions and cults and personalities who have done this to garner wealth or power. By whatever dumb name that they choose. Whether they choose to go by Greek god names, whether they choose to go by Christian god names. It's bunk. It's wacko. You know. And you know I'm connected to the truth. (511) Hello, Archangel. Say blaspheme again, you know? Blaspheme one more time. Cast your stones. This is exactly how it goes every time. It repeats itself, and then Whitey's gonna do something weird to make it so like, oh, it didn't happen, or we're just gonna brush that one off again so that we can hold our power.